What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're drawing a Hippogriff from Harry Potter. Now we're going to be drawing today's character from the side, so let's start by adding some guidelines to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. We're going to start over on the left side of our page, draw a straight line coming down. So we'll start from the very top, just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom of our page. Now along the top, draw another line going across from left to right. So we'll start with the left side and extend that all the way out towards the right. Now from that center point, we're going to draw a circle coming down and then back up for the eye. So come down towards the bottom and then back up. And then from the bottom of the eye, let's angle up and out towards the left, towards that center line. From the outside, let's angle the head going up and in towards that middle. And it'll go straight out towards the right, towards the back of the head. Let's go back to the center point. We're going to slope the head going up and then out. Now from here we're going to curve the beak going out and then down towards the tip. So we're going to go straight out toward the left. Just going to round out the beak and just pull that down towards the bottom, to right about there. Now I'm going to curve this back up and then in toward the center line. And we'll go all the way back towards the right. Now from the tip of the beak, we're going to step up, draw a straight line coming in towards that center line. And from here, let's angle the neck, coming down and back. And then from here, come straight down towards the bottom of our page. Now I'm going to use this rough sketch as a guide to add a little bit more detail and refine the shape. Let's start by separating the top of the beak. Starting from the top, and bend this in, come down, and then out. Let's go up to the top of the beak, bend this in, come down, and then bend that out towards that center line. Now it's going to curve the bottom of the beak and come in and then up, step up, bend this down, and then in. Let's go underneath the eye and add a seam. We're going to go across towards the right, and we're just going to gradually bend that down towards the bottom. And then from this point, bend this in and then up. Let's go back to the top of the eye. I'm just going to angle this up and then out. And then from here, bend the neck going out and then down toward the side. Now from this point, angle this up and then back. Let's curve the front of the chest, bend this out and then down. Now that we have a rough sketch, let's go back and clean up our drawing by erasing those guidelines. Now that we have our clean drawing, I'm going to go ahead and start darkening up our contrast and adding more detail to the contours. Let's start with the eye. I'm going to start by darkening up the outside of that circle. Add a small circle in the center for the pupil. Also adding a highlight along the top left. Let's just lightly darken up the center of that pupil. And then we're going to start adding some shape to the eye. Just adding a point along the bottom and then the top. Now from the eye, we're just going to work our way out. Just adding some more details. And then from the top of the eye, I'm just going to add a little bit of fur texture going out towards the side, towards the top, and just fade that out. And just working our way across the front of the beak. I'm just adding a fold around the corner of the mouth and just bending that back up. just going to add some points across the bottom of the head. And this will be a guide for the feathers. Going across. And we're going to give a slight bend to the top of the head, towards the top of the feathers. I'm just going to bend these feathers going around the back of the head. And go back and clean up our drawing one final time before we start adding the shading. Now once we're happy with the balance and composition of our drawing, we're going to go back in and start darkening up our contours and also adding some shading and some various tones. So I'm going to start back at the eye. Just going to lightly shade the area around that highlight. And then I'm just going to slowly fade this out across the bottom to add a little bit of a glare. Now I'm switching over to a fatter pencil, so I'm using a 2mm pencil lead and just adding some shading around the eyes. And just fading that out across the top. So you see I'm starting around the eye and just pulling this up and then out. So we want to darken up that area around the eye. Just bending this out and up. And from here it's going to darken up that seam across the bottom and just feather that out. I want to have a little bit of a highlight across the top of the beak. So the light's coming down at an angle, and we'll cast the shadows across the bottom. So I'm going to start by just adding a medium tone to the beak first, and just darken up the bottom edge to create a bit of a shadow. Darken up that feather across the bottom of the head. Let's move out to the tip of the feathers and just pull that shading in. So just adding a little bit of texture across the top. And we don't want to go too dark with this. Going to lightly work our way across, and this will just enhance the outline of our character. Now just continue to add that feather texture inside the head. So we're adding these little curves across the base and just working with the curve of the head. Just going to fade these out as they come in. Now in this final stage, I'm going to go back and just darken up our contrast. And again, just adding a little bit more detail as we go. So just enhancing that fur and feather texture. Now I'm going to wrap up my drawing by tightening up my shadows and add a little bit more detail to the feathers, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of a hippogriff from Harry Potter. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Hey everyone, if you really want to discover your artistic potential, then join our Club Masterclass membership. For just $1 a month, you'll gain instant access to exclusive members-only drawing tutorials, virtual art camps, and much, much more. Join our thriving community of passionate artists just like you and let your creativity soar. So just click that link in the description and I'll see you in the club.